You have no legal right to this vessel, and I'm calling the authorities right now to have you arrested for trespassing on community property. Yeah, those are the first words I heard standing on the deck of my own boat, toolbox in hand, staring at a woman who looked like she'd stepped straight out of a catalog for professional meddlers. Monthly designer blazer, not a hair out of place, eyes that screamed, "I always get my way." My name's Drake Thorne, Commander, Thorne Retired Navy. 20 years in uniform, chased pirates, dodged bureaucrats, sailed halfway around the world and back again, but nothing, and I mean nothing, prepared me for the special flavor of crazy you get from an HOA president who thinks the marina is her own private kingdom. Let me back up a sec. 3 days before this little showdown, I walked away from my retirement ceremony with a pension, a handshake, and a plan to start a new life, fixing up a boat I'd just snagged at a government auction. A 38-foot beauty named Sea Whisper. Cost me less than a used pickup. She'd been abandoned by some tech exec with more money than patience, and the marina was happy to unload her after 2 years of collecting dust and slip fees. She wasn't perfect, reeked of mildew stains everywhere, rigging shot. But I saw the potential good bones, like something built to take a punch and come back swinging. The plan was simple: fix her up over winter. Run a few charters come spring, maybe find out what peace and quiet actually feels like. Sunrise on day one, I roll up in my truck, fresh coffee, toolbox, optimism at full charge, and there she is, standing on my deck, clipboard at the ready. You know the type power walk, expensive ring smile that says, "Let's pretend I care. Are you the individual who claims to have purchased this vessel?" she asks. Claims, not owns, not bought. Claims. I'd heard power plays before, usually in situations where somebody's trying to bulldoze right over your rights before you get a word in. I tell her straight as I can, I bought this yacht at a legal government auction. All the paperwork's right here. She introduces herself, Veronica Ashworth, president of the Harborside Marina Homeowners Association. Gives me the handshake, all business, but her fingers are trembling just a little. She launches into a lecture about community property, pulls out a laminated charter, starts reciting rules and subsections like she's the star of her own courtroom drama. According to her, my new boat falls under HOA control, and she's already got approval for its removal. The word hangs in the air like the fog on a cold morning removal. I'm not new to official-sounding nonsense. 20 years dealing with Navy regs and maritime law will teach you the difference between power and theater. But I humor her ask for the charter. She sidesteps, pulls out her phone, says she's calling Marine Patrol. Sounds serious, but the way she says it, yeah, red flags everywhere. While she's pretending to talk to real authorities, I poke around my boat, and what do I find? Sea Whisper's been gutted. Twin Yamaha engines gone. All electronics stripped out. What's left looks like a teenager's mouth after a bad trip to the dentist. I interrupt her fake phone call, ask what happened. She feeds me a line about environmental compliance, certified disposal, and community safety. She might as well have told me she set the boat on fire so nobody could get burned. Then comes her Marine Patrol, white pickup magnetic signs, and a guy in a security uniform so overloaded with fake badges he looked like he robbed a costume shop. His name's Garrett Ashworth, her brother-in-law apparently. He plays tough, demands my ID, and paperwork, acts like he's checking nuclear codes, and finally says my documents are in order, but the HOA's authority means I need to vacate. If I don't, well, he threatens to call the real police, accuses me of trespassing on my own property. Now, I didn't spend 20 years in the service to lose my cool with someone in a Halloween cop outfit, so I play it smart, tactical retreat. I pack up, tell them I'll be back with a lawyer. But as I drive away, Garrett's snapping photos of my stripped boat, probably so they can come up with a new lie later. But here's where the twist hits. Later that day, I call the marina office, talk to Janet. The manager explain what happened. She goes silent, then says Drake, the Harborside Marina HOA, was dissolved 3 years ago. No active HOA, no authority, nothing on file. I ask about Marine Patrol. She says security's contracted for after hours, but they have zero say over boat ownership or maintenance. If Veronica's running around pretending she's in charge, it's a scam. And in my book, that's fraud, plain and simple. So I start digging. 20 years in the Navy makes you good at connecting dots. Veronica's management company is a P.O. box and a voicemail. Garrett's social media is a parade of fake uniforms and compliance photos, including one with a Yamaha engine that looks a lot like mine. And every other boat owner I talk to at the marina has a similar story: equipment removed for safety, never replaced, never returned. Then I meet Walter, an old-timer who's seen it all. He tells me about nighttime teams, stripping boats, quiet, efficient, never a trace. He tried reporting it, but got the HOA runaround like everyone else. Now, I'm not just angry, I'm on a mission. Drop a comment if you've ever had someone try to steal your stuff with fake authority, because what happened next you wouldn't believe. I call my old XO Hayden, who now works with NCIS. I lay out the whole thing: auction purchase fake, HOA missing engines, the whole pattern at the marina. He listens, says, "Drake, this isn't local. We've seen similar cases up and down the coast: interstate theft, fake officials, veteran targets. It's big and it's getting bigger." He tells me to document everything, keep my head down, and let him run it up the flagpole. And just as I'm starting to feel like I've got some backup, Veronica launches a social media smear campaign. Overnight, I'm public enemy #1 photos of me at the marina. Claims I'm a dangerous veteran, posts about threats to community safety. All coordinated, all targeting my reputation. The posts know things about my service record nobody outside the Navy should know. Professional, targeted, absolutely ruthless. Next morning, 2 deputies show up at my door responding to complaints. I sit them down, lay out the paperwork, the emails, the evidence. They see right through Veronica's act promise to investigate, but they warn me to stay clear. Don't give these people any excuse to escalate. Hayden calls, he's worried. "Drake, this looks organized. Professional, political connections, maybe even law enforcement on their payroll." He tells me not to go cowboy on this, to keep everything by the book, because one wrong move and they'll have me painted as the villain for good. So I wait. I document. I strategize. And then Hayden calls with the bombshell: federal agents are connecting my case to a network operating in 12 marinas, 3 states, over $2 million in stolen equipment. These folks aren't just HOA scammers. They're running a full-blown criminal syndicate, laundering stolen marine gear through compliance programs. That's when the real fun begins. I go undercover, play nice, apologize to Veronica, ask how I can bring my boat into compliance. She turns into Ms. Helpful, walks me through her whole racket: fees, inspections, certified technicians, shows off before and after photos, pitches the community program. All the while, I'm recording everything with gear. Hayden's team slipped me hidden camera, audio, the works. Gala night comes, the big community appreciation event. FBI, Coast Guard, local PD, all undercover in the crowd. Veronica on stage in her blue dress, boasting about removing 40 tons of hazardous equipment, announcing the expansion of her excellence program to 3 more marinas. She even let slip how their recovery specialists redirect underutilized assets. You don't need a decoder ring to know she means steal expensive gear and sell it back. The moment she's done, the FBI moves in. Agent Torres walks right up, flashes her badge, and says, "Veronica Ashworth, you're under arrest for conspiracy to commit interstate theft, wire fraud, and impersonation of federal authority." The whole room goes dead silent. Then a wave of cell phones comes up as everyone realizes they've been applauding a criminal mastermind. Garrett's grabbed near the equipment display, other team members hauled out in cuffs, and all the compliance gear seized as evidence. Veronica tries to play innocent, but nobody's buying it, not after her speech, not after the video proof. Over the next few weeks, federal agents sweep through marinas in 3 states, arresting 23 people, recovering over $3 million in stolen equipment. My boat, Sea Whisper, gets her engines back, electronics reinstalled better than new, all courtesy of seized criminal assets. The aftermath. Veronica gets 25 years, Garrett 15, and every other major player goes down with them. But the best part, hundreds of boat owners get their property back. New laws passed. Now marinas have to verify HOA authority, background checks for community managers, real accountability. I even started a nonprofit for veterans because it turns out over half the victims were retired military targeted because we trust the system, don't ask for help, and stand alone too often. Now, Sea Whisper's more than just my boat, it's a symbol. Clients book charters just to hear the story, to support the fight for justice. Every time I cut through the water, I'm reminded that the mission doesn't end when you take off the uniform. The enemies might look different, but the stakes are the same: freedom, honor, and standing up to bullies and blazers who think nobody will fight back. So tell me, what would you have done if someone tried to steal your boat with nothing but a clipboard and a fake badge? Ever tangled with an HOA president on a power trip? Drop your story in the comments. I read every one. If you believe in justice, give this a like, subscribe for more, and share your own battles with fake authority. Because at the end of the day, real power belongs to the people who refuse to back down. And that's a fight worth having every single time.